Noted science writer Sharon Begley, in her recent book, Train Your Mind, Change Your Brain, How a New Science Reveals Our Extraordinary Potential to Transform Ourselves, reports how His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the highest-ranking Lama in Tibetan Buddhism and the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, watched a brain operation while on a visit to an American medical school. His Holiness has always been fascinated with science. He has enjoyed hours of conversation with neuroscientists over the years and was fascinated by the way they had explained to him that all of our perceptions, sensations, and other subjective experiences represent and are produced by chemical and electrical changes in our brains. If patterns of electrochemical impulses surge through our brain's visual cortex, for example, we see, and when such impulses travel through our limbic system, we feel emotions. These rivers of electrochemical impulses may be generated in response to stimulation from happenings in the external world, or result from just thoughts in our mind alone. Consciousness, His Holiness remembers various scientists explaining with great conviction, is nothing more than a manifestation of brain activity. When the brain stops functioning from injury or death, our mind vanishes. Period. End of story. But Begley reports the Dalai Lama had always been bothered by the seeming certainty of this kind of explaining away of consciousness. Even if you accept the theory that our minds are what our brains do, that our emotions and thoughts are expressions of brain activity, isn't there more? Isn't there some kind of two-way causation possible? Perhaps some aspects of whatever mind ultimately is might act on the physical brain, modifying its activity. Could it be, as common sense seems to tell us, that the mind might have an active reality of its own, rather than just be a byproduct of brain activity? His Holiness voiced this question to the chief surgeon. Begley reports that the brain surgeon hardly paused before authoritatively answering, no, period. What we call consciousness or mind is nothing but a product of the physical operation of the brain. The Dalai Lama is a very polite person and let the matter drop. He was used to hearing such absolute statements from people who were supposed to be scientists. But, as Begley notes, quote, I thought then, and I still think, that there is yet no scientific basis for such a categorical claim, end quote. His Holiness wrote in his 2005 book, The Universe in a Single Atom, quote, the view that all mental processes are necessarily physical processes is a metaphysical assumption, not a scientific fact. End quote. This book is a scientific, rather than a scientistic, answer to the Dalai Lama's questions. The difference between science and scientism, and the different consequences of these approaches, will become clear as you read on.